Question number 9, the Honourable Annette King.
Thank you, Mr.
Order.
Tony's done the runner already.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Annette King.
My question's to the Minister of Health. Does he stand by his requirement for district health boards to operate within their agreed financial plans? If not, why not?
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Health, yes. This is not an unusual position and has been required by Ministers of Health for many years. Times are, however, tight, and DHBs will continue to face challenging decisions about how to meet growing health needs.
Supplementary question, Honourable Annette
What
King.
influence has his non-negotiable requirements for DHBs to improve their financial performance had on the decision of the Nelson Marlborough DHB to review surgical and orthopaedic services because, quote, the current scenario of service provision is not sustainable?
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
On behalf of the Minister, I'm advised that the Minister has been to Wairoa Hospital and believes it's a great hospital, in fact had the privilege of opening it. Right now, there is a consultation currently taking place regarding the services that are happening at that hospital. And what I would like to fill in for the member is that over the last 4 years, Nelson Marlborough DHB has had a funding increase of some $48 million.
Supplementary question, Honourable Annette King. Order.
Was he aware that the Nelson Marlborough DHB intended to review the surgical and orthopaedic services at Wairoa Hospital when he signed off their annual plan on the 2nd of July 2012? And if so, why did he agree to a plan that failed to tell the people of Blenheim that their surgical and orthopaedic services were up for grabs again? And did he tell Colin King 7 months ago that he would have to front the public on the threat to his health services?
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
On behalf of the Minister, I think the member opposite is jumping the gun. This is a consultation process. I've already pointed out to the member that there's been a $48 million increase in funding to that DHB. And I would remind the member that just 11 years ago to the day...
Point of order, Honourable Annette King.
Mr. Speaker, you recall that I asked the Minister if he was aware that they intended to review...
I invite the member to ask her question again.
Was he aware that the Nelson Marlborough DHB intended to review the surgical and orthopaedic services at Wairoa Hospital when he signed off their annual plan on the 2nd of July 2012? And if so, why did he agree to a plan that failed to tell the people of Blenheim their surgical and orthopaedic services were up for grabs again? And did he tell Colin King 7 months ago that he would have to front the public on the threat to their health services?
Honourable Joe, could you answer any one of those?
Of the Minister. Yes, there are 3 questions there, 2 of which I've certainly alluded to: the increase in funding, the consultation plan, and I think the member is really desperately wanting me to answer whether the member was aware that this DHB, like many DHBs, will be consulting on services within that DHB. Unfortunately, I'm not sure whether that part of the plan for that DHB was something the Minister was aware of at the time or not.
Supplementary question, Honourable Annette King.
Why has a National Party member and a likely challenger for the Kaikoura seat set up a new organisation in Blenheim called Save Our Services, something that has not been necessary since 1998, the last time the national government tried to reduce services at this hospital, and is holding a public meeting on Tuesday night in an effort to save their valuable services?
Mr. Speaker,
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
On behalf of the Minister, I do not believe the Minister of Health has any responsibility whatsoever for that.
Supplementary question. Supplementary question, Honourable Annette King. Order.
Supplementary question, Mr. Speaker.
I'm trying to help the member to ask his supplementary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does he agree with Dr. Tom Miller, a doctor from Blenheim, who wrote in the Marlborough Express recently, 14 years ago the hospital was under threat and the loss of secondary services looms again. If general and orthopaedic services are transferred to Nelson, it would only be a matter of time before other services are axed and eventually leave Blenheim as a health facility with no other than A&E and other ancillary services.
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Mr. Speaker, when health services are discussed by communities, these are very anxious times for communities, and therefore I would suggest to the member that she convey to the doctor that he should take part in the consultation process. But I could also add for the member's interest that when the member herself made erroneous claims about Ashburton Hospital cutting its services
Point of order,
Mr. Speaker. The member has answered the question, and anything else has nothing to do with this question.
Supplementary question, Honourable Dr. Nick Smith. Order.
Can the minister advise the House?
Order. The member on his feet, has every right to ask a supplementary question. Honourable Dr. Nick Smith.
Can the minister advise the House of the 6 different services that were transferred from Wairau Hospital to Nelson Hospital when a Mrs. Annette King was the minister? And can she recall at the time as to whether Annette King at the time expressed concerns about that for the people of Marlborough?
Order. The minister can answer the question in regard to is she aware, but she is certainly not accepting responsibility for any action on a former health minister.
I have no ministerial responsibility, but I certainly take that member's word if it happened.
I can't hear above. I can't hear a word above the Honourable Trevor Mallard. So when he is silent, we'll hear what.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is the minister
a supplementary question or point of order? Supplementary question.
Is the minister aware that the former Minister of Health, Annette King, stopped that hospital being saved, had it rebuilt so that the hospital remained in Blenheim and was under threat under a national government?
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the minister, what I am aware of regarding the former Minister of Health, Annette King, is that she urged some 11 years ago today New Zealanders to be realistic on health. New Zealand is not rich enough to have the kind of health system found in Australia, Canada, Britain or the United States. It's clear that even 11 years ago that member, as Health Minister, had given up on New Zealand's health system.
Question. Is Mr. Hipkins finished? Thank you. Order. Question number 10, Colin King.